If you were an ancient man-eating creature, who every 23 years you have 23 days to gather and eat replacement parts from humans, would you manage to gather up enough organs for your long hibernation? This video is going to be a little bit different from my other ones. It's going to be from the perspective of our killer, the Creeper. I am going to go through the movie and point out his mistakes and how to better capture those pesky humans. We start off driving somewhere down Highway East 9 when we come across two siblings on their way home from college. I know it's annoying when you are in a hurry and you have a slow-ass car in front of you, but you have to hibernate for 23 years, so keeping a low profile is important. Really shouldn't be bringing unnecessary attention to yourself, so unless you are planning on killing these two, this is a bad idea even on a highway that isn't very busy. His next mistake is right here where Trish and Derry drive past his church, where he is dumping bodies down this pipe in broad daylight. This makes me think the Creeper is not very smart. He literally just passed them on this highway. He knew they were coming. He should probably wait till dark to start moving these bodies, or at least keep a lookout. You can see a long way down this road. It would be really easy to see a car coming and just wait till it passes before moving the bodies. But this is not his worst mistake. That would be even making his nest right off the highway like this. You have to keep in mind that the Creeper has to hibernate for 23 years, so he really needs to choose a place that is hard to get to and people won't easily discover him. It's hard to say where he could hibernate for so long and go undiscovered. He would probably need to go underground somewhere there is a huge risk that someone would discover him and kill him in his sleep. Especially since his nest is a church that is so visible, and it may not be a busy area now, but 23 years from now it could be. I find it very unlikely that no one would come across him here over that amount of time, so he would probably end up getting torched in his sleep. Back to him carelessly moving bodies in broad daylight. Now he has to chase after these two and make sure they don't squeal on him. He does manage to run them off the road, but for some reason he just keeps driving. I am not sure why he doesn't stop and kill these two. It makes no sense to leave them alive. The Creeper chooses its victims based on the smell of fear and sniffs them to see if they have any organs that he likes. The only reason why he would let these two go aside from movie plot armor is that he's uninterested in them, or he hasn't caused enough fear to know whether he wants them or not.
That was scary.
Being uninterested isn't a good enough reason to let them go. He has to kill them. They saw him throwing bodies down a pipe. Whether he wants to eat them or not, they need to disappear. And if he hasn't caused enough fear yet, he could just bring them back to his church. I am pretty sure he could scare them enough to know if he wants a snack or not. It's unclear where he runs off to, but he has gone long enough for Derry to fall down this pipe and discover all the bodies stuck to the walls, give his sister a heart attack, then drive to this gas station where they see his truck again. It kind of seems like he doesn't understand the threat of them telling the world about his existence. But in reality, I think he is smarter than people give him credit for. I think that he decided he didn't have time to kill them yet. He probably thought that they had already called the cops and that maybe the police were on their way. The only reason they didn't is because Derry's phone was dead and Trish's cigarette lighter didn't work, so they had no way to charge it. The Creeper would have had no way to know that. So I think he maybe just ran them off the road, then kept going to get supplies to get rid of all the evidence at the church. Later, when they are on their way there with the police, they hear over the radio that the old church had burned down. It's unlikely that this would get rid of all the evidence, but he doesn't need to. They would most likely think it's the work of a serial killer, not some bat-like creature that looks like the Swamp Thing. I still think he should have stopped and killed these two. It wouldn't have taken him very long, and given the panic, I don't think they would have given the police very much information. Most likely would just be panic screams about someone chasing them on the highway. Probably wouldn't have even told them about the church yet. Since this is a long highway, it probably would have taken the police a while to find them.
Same highway.
This highway runs the length of the state.
So it would have made more sense for him to stop and kill them than to leave. He can't exactly walk into a store to get the supplies he needs without drawing too much attention, so I imagine he had to go somewhere to steal what he needed to burn the church down, so that's probably why it took him so long. The next we hear about the Creeper is at the gas station where he rifled through the laundry in their car. This is a bad idea. The police didn't really believe their story before, but now it adds a bit more credibility to it. We can also see that the Creeper is still at the gas station. We can hear him fly away. Not attacking them right here is the correct call. I don't think anyone here poses a threat, but you would have to kill all of them. Once you started your attack, they would probably all start running away, most likely in different directions, so it would be pretty difficult to get every one of them. But even if he did manage to not let any of them escape, this many people going missing altogether would spark quite the manhunt, and with hibernation fast approaching, we don't need that kind of heat on us. Waiting to attack on this empty highway at night is a good idea. Hitting them while they were driving was an excellent choice. With great execution, he was able to dispatch of both of them very quickly with little resistance. Throwing the head at the siblings was a mistake. They had no idea that the cops were dead. He could have just followed them both back to the church and then took care of them there. At the old woman's house, I think it's unnecessary to try impersonating one of her scarecrows. He should just attack them on sight. They really have no way of fighting back. The siblings try to hit the creeper with their car, but he easily avoids it the first 2 times. Trish tricks him by making him think she couldn't get the gear shifter unstuck. Then, when he comes forward, she guns it, hitting him. Honestly, I think he had plenty of time to get out of the way, but this would not have happened if he would stop toying with them. I mean, he has wings, use them. He could have easily flown on top of the car and dragged them both out like he did with the police. But now he has to endure getting ran over a bunch of times. He is actually quite lucky they didn't end up killing him here. They just didn't know enough about the creeper. This web thing on the back of the head seems to be the most important part of the creeper, which you see in the second film. If they had ran that thing over more, they could have possibly put him down for good. Now, because of his carelessness, he is really fucked up and has to replace a lot more parts. He continues after Derry, who is at the police station. I think that this is a mistake. I know he really wants Derry, but attacking the police is a huge risk. It would be a lot safer to break into someone's house at night and use what he can from them to repair himself before continuing after Derry. He finds some replacement parts from one of the prisoners, then kills the cop. He ends up getting the attention of the entire police department. Secrecy is his greatest weapon, and ripping a dude's heart out in front of everyone is pretty stupid. He is about to be very vulnerable for 23 years. The more people who knows about this, the greater the chances of them finding him while hibernating. In the final standoff, the cops see him in all his glory. There is no denying it now. Too many witnesses saw him. There would be a massive manhunt looking for this thing. The smartest thing to do if he just couldn't go without Derry would be to just wait for them to leave the station. It's unclear how many more days he had left, but the second movie takes place in the same 23 days as the first, so I think he had plenty of time. But he should have just killed them both earlier, not letting it get to this point. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. Remember, if you see someone throwing bodies down a shit pipe, it's probably not a good idea to crawl down there yourself.